State may call their next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. State calls Ingrid Stokes. Yes.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Ingrid Stokes, INGRIDSTOKES.
Thank you, ma'am. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Paul, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Stokes.
Good morning.
Back in 1996, did you have a different last name?
It was Johnson.
Okay, so you went by Ingrid Johnson back then? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Did you come to Las Vegas on the weekend of September 7th, 1996?
Yes.
Who'd you come with?
My best friend and some girlfriends.
Can you tell me who they were?
Shalane, Tanisha, and Lauren.
And why'd you come to Las Vegas that weekend?
Well, when you live in LA, you go to Vegas all the time. It's just a party city. So we decided to go for the weekend. We were all off work. And so we went to come hang out, have fun.
And were you aware, and well, first let me take a step back. So you guys were living in LA at the time?
Yes.
What part of LA?
I may have been living at my dad's, which is Carson.
Okay. And then and you came out for the purposes to party. Were you aware that there was a Mike Tyson fight that weekend?
Yes, that's one of the reasons. There was always a Mike Tyson fight. But we were coming because my friend knew one of the managers or coaches, I forget what they're called, and we had planned on going to the fight.
Did you end up going to the fight?
No.
What happened?
Women in the bathroom, 4 women in the bathroom did not work. We took too long. We missed
Yeah.
the fight completely.
And so, where were you staying that night?
I believe we were at the Lexor, or the Rio, but I think it was the Lexor.
Okay. And then, did you ever actually make it to the MGM where the fight was?
We made it to the let out, is what I call it, because the fight was already over, so everyone was kind of hanging out. So we went to see what was going on for the night.
And did you hang out there for a while?
I don't remember, but it would have been enough time to run into a few friends and say hello and hang out, and maybe drink or two, maybe.
So, what did you do after hanging out at the MGM Grand?
Well, we had met one of my friends, and they had mentioned there was somewhere they were going to go. So we decided, okay, we'll go there first and see what's happening before we decide, where we're going to end the night. So we all got back in our car, the rented car we took from LA, and drove.
And do you recall what kind of car that was?
It was a convertible Supreme.
And did all 4 of you go into the car?
Yes, all 4 of us were in the car.
And what happened once you guys started driving?
That's a loaded question. A lot happened. We got in the car. I believe we left the MGM parking lot, and then we went to the main street, Las Vegas Boulevard, I guess. And we were driving, and I believe we were, I don't know, about 10 minutes after leaving the parking lot, and then we ran into Suge and Tupac in the car.
And when you say you ran into them, what'd that look like?
Well, we were driving, hanging out in a convertible, and my girlfriend Lauren at the time, she knew Suge, and she told us, "Hey, there's Suge. Pull up next to him. I'm gonna ask them what they're doing." And so Shalane was the driver, and she slowed up close to them.
And so you said Shalane was the driver.
Yes,
Where were you seated?
I was the passenger in front.
In the front passenger? So Shalane's driving, you're in the front passenger, and the other 2 women are in the back seat?
Yeah, Tanisha's behind me, and then Lauren is behind the driver.
After all these years, you still remember that, huh?
Well, yeah, some things you don't forget. That one you forget.
And so then when you start driving, or when you see Suge, and your friend starts talking to Suge, what happens?
They were talking, and she was like, "What's going on? What's happening?" We look over initially, we pull up to the car, and we kind of nod or say hello, that kind of thing. But we were in our own little world. While she was talking to him, he said, "Hey, we're all going to the club. Why don't you follow us? Get behind us. You can go with us." And so that was the decided we'll go there first and see what's happening before we go anywhere else.
So do you follow, do you remember who's driving and who's in the passenger side?
Suge was driving and Tupac was in the passenger seat.
All right. I believe States Exhibit 3 has been admitted. We're going to publish that. Is this kind of the way they look at night?
That was just like this.
And so, you decided to follow Suge and Tupac to the club?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
That's okay. And so, do you recall the name of that club?
It was an area code, so I remember it was 662 or 702, but now I know it's 662.
And then what did you do? Did you guys start driving over to Club 662?
We got behind them and we start driving down the Las Vegas Strip. And it was weird because there was a car behind us and they kept going around us trying to get in front of us. It happened quite often. It was really annoying. We didn't understand what was going on. And then at one point we were getting ready to turn to go on the main street. I guess Flamingo was on. Or Flamingo, I think is what it's called. When we turned that way, I was like, what the heck's going on? People keep getting in front of us. I know how to get to the club. Let's figure out our own way. I can drive and we can meet them up there. And so our plan was to get out from behind them.
So you were confused about the way the cars were moving?
Yeah, I didn't understand. In hindsight, I know now, but I didn't understand there was entourage. I just thought, they were going to a club. We didn't think about it.
And then at some point on Flamingo, do you stop at a light?
Yeah, so when we get close to the light, I tell Shalane, pull over, I'll drive. I know where I'm going. I've been there before. So we pull from around them, and then we stop at the light, and
before, that's my fault, not yours. So before, when you guys are stopped at the light, where is your car relative to Suge Knight's and Tupac Shakur's car?
So I believe there was 4 lanes, a turning lane, the lane next to it, the middle, and then there was one for like the outside lane. So they were on the 3rd lane, I believe, and when we got off the lane behind them, we got out and we went past, and I think we were a car or two on the 2nd lane from the light.
And so were you behind or in front of Suge Knight's car?
We were in front.
So you're in the lane next over, a car, or maybe 2 in front.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, while you're waiting at that light, does anything happen?
Well, me and Shalane were going to change seats. I was going to drive. I'm the more aggressive driver, and after what, she was nervous with them coming back in front of us so much. So me and Shalane were literally head down, taking our seatbelts off when we heard the gunshots, when all hell broke loose.
And to be fair, you didn't see those gunshots.
No.
And then what do you do when you hear the gunshots?
I freak out and I scream, what the hell? I said, what the hell? And then Shalane is kind of half up, half down, and so I grab her head to bring her down. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And then she has her hand on the wheel, but she's like frozen. And so I don't remember how many gunshots there were, honestly. But I know I put the car in drive, and I told her to get the hell out of there and drive. And so I may even grab the wheel. Like I said, I'm very aggressive. And from that, she tried to drive off. And
then did you see the color of the vehicle?
Yeah, so we almost hit the car. When we were trying to drive off, there was a car in that last lane that was the turning lane. And it was a white 4-door. Can't tell you what kind, but I just know it was like white-ish. And we almost hit it when we were trying to get away.
Were you trying to pursue the white car?
Hell no. Just want to get away.
And then where did you guys go? Did you turn off? Did you follow them turning off? Or?
We turned off. We turned the only way you could turn because it was a red light, which was down that first street past. And then when we turned right, we were just driving fast. There still might have been gunshots. I can't speak for anyone else in the car, but it was a lot going on. There was a lot of adrenaline. And then the first street we saw that was on the left, I was like, turn left. And we just turned down a random street that had like apartments on it.
Now, it's fair to say you didn't see who was in the car, right?
No, didn't look.
But did you go back to where the shooting occurred?
Yes, I did.
Were you nervous about talking about what happened?
I didn't think I had anything valuable to say, to be honest. So I wasn't nervous initially because I just was like, we came back because we wanted to know what happened. because we left, so we didn't know. We didn't look around. We didn't see anything. We just left. And so when we came back, we saw there were a lot of police presence, and I wasn't a big fan of the police at the time, so I wanted to stop and talk to them and offer my help, but I also wanted to make sure if I could help, I would help. So when we went back, we told the officers we had been there when something happened, what happened when we left. And so he made us stop the car and get out the car. The police officer made us sit on the ground, on the sidewalk, in front of everything. Like cars are still, I think, may have been passing. So it was kind of an odd situation where they were like kind of rude to us. And then they're treating us like we're suspects. We really didn't know what happened though. And so they said, well, we need you guys, eyewitnesses, we need you guys to come downtown or in a van for you guys to come, and had us sit there. I kept asking a lot of questions, but no answers.
Now, I noticed some of your friends aren't going to be here. Is there this fear about talking in this kind of case?
Absolutely, yes.
Why is that?
Snitches get ditches, I'm saying. Not the coolest, but yeah, talking to police is not a thing we do in our culture anywhere in LA. It's not a normal thing. So there was that, especially in the 90s and 80s. There was multiple reasons why, but I didn't see anything, so I was kind of limbo. I didn't see anything. I didn't think I'd be beneficial. And then I don't know. I was going to offer some assistance, what I could, because I may have had more memory back then. I may have heard the number of gunshots. I may have had, more. But the police treat us so bad that I just we start shutting down, because we're like, if someone did it, they could come by and sitting on the ground. They can see we're sitting here telling people, even though we're not saying anything. So this was a really bad situation.
And is it fair to say that that was something that also would scare you, is that if somebody was seeing you talking?
Absolutely.
Objection,
Yeah.
Honor, for leading.
What's your response, Mr. Paul?
I'm just following up on her question that she's going to lay the foundation to.
I'll sustain if you could rephrase.
Okay. Is it fair or unfair to say that you are concerned about people seeing you talking to police?
Yes.
All right. No further questions, please.
Cross-examination, Mr. Sam.
Thank you, Honor. Hi, Mr.
Hello.
Obviously, I would imagine you've never testified before about this particular situation.
No, I was in a grand jury.
Okay, so you were at the grand jury. And with regards to your testimony, when you were in front of the grand jury, did you meet with the district attorney's office prior to giving that testimony to the grand jury?
Not except outside the door when I got to the courthouse. Okay. I mean, the door of the grand jury.
I see. And with regards to that testimony, did you review any documents, records, anything like that in preparation for your testimony in front of the grand jury?
No.
All right. Now, asking you again for today, did you review any documents in preparation for your testimony here in front of this jury?
I looked at the grand jury testimony that I said, but other than that, no.
Okay. Now, when this thing had occurred, I would imagine it would have been a very traumatic experience for you.
Yes.
And at some point you go back to L.A.?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
That's all right. It's just for the record. When you go back to L.A., did you ever just sort of keep on top of it, like in terms of like articles that would come out in magazines, anything like that at all?
No, we didn't talk about that night for decades. We didn't talk about it.
Okay. Now, did you ever at any point capture what you had remembered in a journal or anything like that?
I did a documentary, a couple of documentaries. Yes, years, like 20 years later.
I see. And in preparation for those documentaries, what did you use to refresh your recollection back then?
Talk to my girlfriend. I mean, more talk and try to remember pieces that I could.
Right. And your girlfriend was also present in the Sebring when it happened?
Yes,
as well?
she was driving.
I see.
My best friend.
Now, just to describe us a little bit that night, you're driving in a convertible Sebring,
Yes,
and I'd assume that the top was probably down.
the top was down.
Okay. And the weather that night, was it raining?
No.
Can you describe for the jury what the weather was like that night?
It was Vegas in September. It probably, I'd be guessing, but I know what it wasn't. It wasn't raining. It could have been a cloud in the sky, but I wouldn't remember that.
Was
I just
it
know
cold?
it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. We didn't have any jackets. We had designer clothes. That's why I was mad. I had to sit on the curb. But no, it was a nice, cool evening. So I would probably say in the 80s, 70s, 80s. I have no idea.
All right. But obviously, among the 4 girls, no jackets or anything that would indicate that it was cold that night.
Yes, no.
Now, in addition to that, your testimony was that you had pulled up alongside Suge Knight's vehicle at some point.
Yes.
Now, I noticed that you weren't given a map. Did you ever have an opportunity to kind of envision exactly where this had occurred?
I didn't forget that part.
Okay. If I were to show you a map, would you be able to point out for
Yes.
us exactly?
Much as I can, yes, absolutely.
Sure. I'm going to show you what's been marked in there. This states exhibit number 1. And just for the record, I'm showing you States Exhibit number 1. It's just an overview of Las Vegas. Can you?
Yeah.
Does that help you at all?
No, not really, but I see the streets. It's what I thought. I'm assuming the red dot is Vegas Boulevard.
And we say red dot. There's a mouse that's right there in front of you. You could use that to sort of move that mouse over to where. No, that doesn't do that. 'Cause it's-
I can point it, but
Now let me do this.
When you're on our computer, can you do that? This doesn't your.
you can point it now.
All right. So it would it this be? And
Yes,
I'm using my
that's-
Sharpie. That's
yes,
the dot.
yes.
Okay. So yes, that would be Las Vegas Boulevard. Now I'm going to point over here. Do you recognize this particular area?
Yeah, that's where it happened.
Okay. And this I'm pointing it now once again for the record. Flamingo, and it looks like this would be Koval.
Koval, that sounds about right.
Now, you were describing for us a little bit about where the cars were. If I were to give you a piece of paper, can you draw for us just a little bit better so we can have a better view? And
I can try.
Okay. You want to may approach?
Yes, you may.
And what am I drawing exactly again?
If you can draw for us where, on that night, where Koval was. And just for the record, you're writing Koval, is it for the horizontal line or the vertical line?
It is the horizontal line.
Okay, so that's Koval. And then can you draw for us where Suge's vehicle was when you pulled up to it?
We were behind it.
Okay.
So it would have been, I'm just going to make lanes and don't quote me, I could be off by one, of course. So I'll say this was Suge and we were behind. So this was, I'm going to put I for me. And then we moved and went right here. So this is where we end up parking. I'm not parking, but stopping at the red light.
That's fine. And just for the record, you have made a mark that looks like an S, and I would assume that would be for Suge's vehicle.
Yes.
And then there's another I, it looks like right there, and that would be for your vehicle.
Yes.
And then you have an arrow pointing to the next lane over where the I is now at.
Yes, that's where it ended.
Okay, great. And then when the shots, when you're, I guess, trying to change seats, can you tell us where you were at that particular point?
You mean in the car? Or-
Well, not in the car, but
Oh.
where the car was.
It was here when the shots happened.
Okay,
And when we were trying to flee, we were trying to get in this lane to go around to get the turn.
I see.
And that's what we ended up doing eventually.
I see. So when the shots were fired, you were still in that I,
The I,
and
yes.
then you pulled off onto Koval.
Yes.
Okay. Now this area right here, what is this? What street is that?
What do you mean? This Flamingo? No, is this Flamingo, I'm assuming? I'm guessing. Like I said, I'm bad at direction on places I still go today.
That's right.
And then here was like a gas station or something right there. And then here was where we turned off right, which is where that first left was. So I don't know the name of the streets or anything.
No problem. I'm going to show this. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. All right. Your Honor, if I could have this marked as defense exhibit, opposed defense exhibit A,
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
and move for admission.
Any objection to its admission?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so admitted. Did you want to publish?
I would like to publish it. Your
Okay,
Honor.
feel free.
Thank you. Now, showing you what's been marked and admitted now is defense exhibit A. All right, and I will just explain this for the jury again. So the where you have Coble is actually the street Coble, is that right?
Yes.
And you have Flamingo, which would be the other street that's going vertical down the Defense Exhibit A.
Yes.
And then on the corner, it would be one of the corners, there's a gas station.
Yes.
Now over here, this S, that would be what you would call a Suge Knight's vehicle.
Yes.
And you were directly behind that vehicle at some point.
Yes.
And you pulled up, and that's the arrow pointing up to the next lane over, and that's where you were at, right next to Suge's vehicle.
In front of, not next to. That's why it's a little above.
I see. So you're slightly in front of Suge's vehicle. Was there another vehicle over here in front of Suge's vehicle?
I'm assuming yes, because we weren't at the front of the line. So yes, maybe two.
I see. Maybe two vehicles, but presuming that there would be at least a vehicle in front of Suge's vehicle.
At least two, I'd say, because there was one in front of me.
Okay. And then this lane over here is, what lane is that?
That's the a small lane that you could turn off.
Turning lane?
Yeah, it didn't say, but yes.
Yeah. And so at some point when the shots were ringing out, you just immediately just gassed the car and made a right-hand turn on Coble.
Yeah, into the turning lane.
Okay. And your testimony here right now, for instance, is that the top was down, but you didn't see.
No,
Yeah.
I was looking down because I was initiating changing my seat. So I would thank God I was all face down.
Okay. And when you pulled off and you made that right-hand turn, did anyone shoot at you?
Probably. I honestly don't know. There was a lot of gunshots.
Sure. Did any, after the event had occurred, did you ever observe any bullet holes in your vehicle?
There was no bullet holes in my vehicle.
Was there any shattered windshield as a result of anything
No.
happening on the scene?
No.
Okay. And then with regards to where you were at, when your testimony was that you were talking to Suge. Suge was saying, "Hey, come to 662." Is that what was happening?
Yes.
And during that time period, you said, and I want to make sure I'm clear, that while there was a conversation about going over to Suge's place, but it seemed like everyone was sort of talking. Like it was like the girls in the back seat maybe were having a conversation or something like that. Is that-
No. Lauren was the only one talking to Suge because she's the only one who knew him.
I see.
So nobody, we were just like, oh, okay, looking like, because it wasn't our conversation.
Right. And when that was happening, did any of your people in your vehicle yell out, Tupac, Tupac, anything
No.
like that?
Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, it's Tupac.
No.
Okay. Now, during that time period, as you're over here behind Suge's vehicle or next to it, did you ever see, can you describe for me what Tupac was doing in the vehicle?
When we pulled up on the side of him and she was talking to Suge, he was relaxed, like sitting in the chair, sitting in the passenger seat. And Suge was relaxed talking to Lauren. Nothing, like there was no engagement.
Okay, so as you're sitting there and you pull up, Tupac was not hanging out the window and doing something out of the window.
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. His torso was not sitting on top of the window yelling to his fans, Tupac, Tupac.
No,
anything like
there was
that.
no fans around. They were just driving in the car listening to music like we were.
All right. And during that time period, when you were here during this time period, there's a red light
Yes.
preventing you from moving forward. And once again, going back to Defense Exhibit A, there's no green light allowing traffic to move in the direction of Coble.
No,
Okay, so everyone was stopped at that particular point.
everyone was stopped.
I have no further questions, John. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, any questions for this witness? We do have one. Okay, so what I'll need you to do is write your juror number on the question, and then write the question on a full sheet of paper, and then hand it to my marshal when you're done. Any questions from anyone else? Okay, perfect. Can I have the party's approach? All right, one question from a juror. Could you gauge what direction the shots were coming from?
No.
No? Any thought? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I know it was just
You're
too,
okay.
it was too chaotic, and you're not, thinking about that, but no.
Okay. State, any follow-up based on that question?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any follow-up based on that question?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You are excused.